Yeah. ¿Se me oye? Okay. Hello. My name is Pablo Alayeto, and I work at Bitgild. Sometimes it's really hard for me to tell like what's my job title because I do a bunch of stuff, pretty much a mix of everything. And yeah, it's hard to introduce me here. 1 week I can be like doing some product research for a new product we plan to do. The next day I can be reviewing some PR with some new features. Next day I can be, I don't know, designing some wireframes or building some prototype. And the next week I can be like creating some reports or applying for some grant to get some funding for the BuidlGuild or reviewing some grant application from a builder that wants to get his first grant. And that's something that it's not new for me because for the last 10 years I've been a freelancer, and before that I was working in a startup. So I'm used to wear a lot of hats, and I really like it. So the job is never boring. And because of that so various kind of task I need to do, I'm here today to explain you how I use AI to help me to perform those old tasks and what kind of workflows I use for that, which tools, and a bit of that. Today I don't want to present like the right way to use AI because I don't think anyone knows the right way. I will present like my way, what works for me, what doesn't, what system I've created in order to use AI. And the system that I use is based on some pillars that I will go through them and explain you some examples, workflows, and tools. But before getting into that, I want to stop for a second, and I want to comment something that I think is really important nowadays in this period of time where AI is so popular. I think something most of us have felt at some point, or even felt it nowadays, is FOMO. Like, we are receiving a lot of inputs everywhere. Like, we open our feed, we check like a new tool, a new model, a new whatever that is going to increase our productivity like 10x, and we feel the FOMO to test it, or we feel like we are getting behind because we couldn't test all the different products that go to the market every day. And I think it's totally normal. Like, it's something we have to deal with. And in today's talk, I want to like give you my tricks, my system that helps me to deal with all of that. Because at the end of the day, you can end up with 20 tabs open in your web browser, like hundreds of bookmarks on your Twitter account of stuff you want to try. And I think that's fine, but I think we don't have to rush, and we don't have to stress ourselves trying to be always up to date with the AI. I think we have to make use of AI in our own benefit. And we don't have to be like up to date. Like, I don't think it's even possible to be updated every day and know all the stuff that is coming every day. I think we have to adapt, like, for each kind of task we have to do, each workflow we have to do in our jobs. We have like to research what's the best way to do it. And once you have like a system for that kind of task, you need to stick with it and continue using it. And then you can change the tools, you can add a new step, add whatever, but you won't feel this FOMO anymore, or almost not anymore. Because, yeah, it's not only like a cognitive charge that we have with all of that stuff that comes up every day, is also a good financial load because we can end up with a set of tools that is not only a cognitive load, like I said, it's also financially really, really tough to handle because, yeah, it's really easy to end up with a system of tools like a monster that ends up in a big monthly build. You try a lot of new trials of those new tools, and at the end of the month, you end up with another SaaS, another model, another whatever that is charging you, like you can see basically the $20 month is a standard those days. I think we don't have to follow all this noise that we see in social media, in YouTube, in whatever. Like I said, we should have a system, whatever system it is. It can be really simple. We don't need to be in like this mid guy that is trying to pivot to agents. No, let's try vector databases. Oh, there is a new context Windows update. I think that's a lot of noise, and that doesn't help us be more productive at all. Like I said, once we have the system, the different tools are like a Lego, and we start adding more Lego stuff if we need, or changing the tool for another tool. And that's, I think, the way I like to use the AI. Now, let's get into the 4 pillars that I think are the basic pillars on my system, and I guess for most of the people here using AI. Like the first pillar, maybe it's a bit underrated, but for me it's really important, like to frame correctly the model or the AI tool that we are going to use. In the prompt, we have to be clear about the goals that we want to achieve, like which constraints we have, which format we want the output to be, and most important or really important, what does a good result look like? Like if the AI, the models, whatever tool we use, can't read our minds, and we have to be very clear about what we want to achieve, how, and how the AI can test if the output is correct or not. Then the context, like the context is really important too. We will see at the end of the presentation, maybe with some tools are getting better and better, and maybe with less quality context, we can get to decent outputs. But most of the time, it's a simple system like garbage in, garbage out. Like if we don't give the right context to the AI is a really powerful system, but doesn't know everything. Like has the ability to calculate a proper answer really fast and iterate through all the context really quickly. But if we don't give the proper context, the results are going to be really bad or not as good as we expect. And it doesn't mean that the context has to be like a novel. It has to be the right amount of context with proper examples like code snippets, like other, if we are working on content, like content, we should follow the same guidelines, or some, I don't know, design guidelines, whatever the AI needs to stick with, and not more. Because also if we give a lot of context, the AI is not going to it's going to miss important stuff. It's going to dilute, and probably it's going to use the wrong parts of the context, the ones that we just pasted because we thought we will get a better result, but at the end we get poor results. The third pillar is to orchestrate all the different tools that are in our toolkit. That's important to do because most of the time there is not a single model, a single tool that does everything. And then, of course, to validate. I think that's what differentiates like the vibe coders from the AI builders. Like if you don't validate the output, if you don't test it, if you don't have some human review, but before the human review, have the AI or different models reviewing the first output. If you are happy with the first output, it's probably going to be a mess really soon if you rely on the answers that the AI give as first choice. Let's get a bit deeper on each pillar. Like I said, models cannot read your mind. We need a proper goal. I will show some examples. We need a proper goal, the format, the constraint, what's the good look like. Let's check some examples about this framing. For example, this could be a decent prompt. Like we say which task we want. I don't know if you can read it. I will. I can zoom. Sorry. We give like the task we want to achieve. We give like the different formats we want. Like for example, if this is an app, we want it to be a React with TypeScript. We want the Tailwind for the visual components. We want it all in one TSX file. Well, we give all the output formats. We give all the constraints that must follow the AI, like this color palette, these naming conventions, be mobile first. This is the API schema that you must follow, and this is the acceptance criteria. I think that's really important to give us as context, as frame for the AI, because if the AI doesn't have the info, it's going to guess, and if it's going to guess, you are probably not going to get what you expected, because at the end of the day, this is like writing a brief for a company that or a teammate that needs to develop whatever, a content, video, a product, an on-chain application, whatever. If we don't give the right frame to them, it's impossible that we are going to get the results we expect. Let's check a really good prompt from Gitcoin and what the output looks like. That's in their governance forum for the last Gitcoin grants 24 round. They had a really nice AI scoring all the different applications they had. The prompt, well, I might show first the output so you see it. Let me check if you can see it. Okay, so this is a draft scorecard that is created automatically based on the input from, in this case, BuidlGuild was applying for the Gitcoin grants 24. Here's all the context that the applicant is sending. Okay, so based on this context, they have this really nice prompt. Okay, I don't know if you will be able to read, but here's like, let's check, the proposal, the TLDR, who the proposer is and his background, who is into the BuidlGuild, what problem they try to achieve, the solution, the risk, and then at the end we will have the Walkie's scorecard. That's like his personal assistant, and it will give some points to different parameters. And that's not magic. That's, well, I guess they have a batch process executing on all their forum pages. But at the end, they have this really nice prompt where he states, like, you are Kevin Owoki's assistant, your task is to research and fill out the scorecard. This is the formatting, like, this is the draft with like a template of what the AI needs to fill. And because of it's so well structured and so well explained and doesn't give any space for the AI to guess. It has all the right context. It's making them like save a lot of time, I guess, research, reviewing all the applications on their Gitcoin rounds. Then I will show you some tools that I like to use for prompting. Sorry. The first like rule I try to follow, because I tend to think that we got better results. I got better results on all the different models I use. I like to ingest all the data that I can. I like to ingest it as Markdown, because I think since it's a structure, the machine, I think it understand more like the different hierarchies and how important is one thing, and tends to understand better whatever context I ingest. So everything I try to convert it to Markdown. It could be from websites. It could be from whatever source. I'm a video, like all kind of stuff of all kind of data. I try to transform with this application, this Gdoc to Markdown application. I will show you an example on how I use it. Imagine you are looking for the docs of some new tool, or the API docs, or in our case, scaffold it docs. If you are checking, in this case, scaffold it docs, you want to use a new hook for your app. You don't know how to use it. Well, in our case, if you are using scaffold it, I will cover later that we have some cursor rules that will handle all of this for you. But imagine in the project you are creating, you don't have the right cursor rules explaining the AI how to use your technology. You can just copy from here. Oops. Copy whatever you want. Go to this tool. You paste. It's originally intended to use with Google Docs, but websites most of the time work pretty nicely. And I don't know if it's really readable, but you get a really nice Markdown exported that you can then feed your AI with it and make it like the exact right context to use the hook in this case, or whatever you are going to use. Like I said, it's originally intended to work for Google Docs. I won't do the test, but I will show where I usually tend to paste this Markdown. Like, it's very useful. Like, for example, I will cover another use case later. But yeah, you can see it got really, really nice extracted. And then you could paste it here and basically one shot the task you are trying to achieve. Then I will show you another example, also with the docs. In this case, it's Gina AI. It's a reader for any website. You can just paste the URL, and it will transform it to Markdown. I will use the same use case, the same hook page. It's really useful also if you plan to go to the next, not the next the last talk of today, we are going to play Max Extract. It's a game developed by Austin. You can copy the URL that we will share later, and it will pretty much convert everything to Markdown, and you will be able to feed your cursor or Claude or whatever and have a really nice idea of what you have to achieve on each step of the game. Let's paste it here. Yeah, you don't need to pay a subscription to do simple pages. Like if you want to do automated extracting, for sure you will have to pay, but use it like that. It's totally free. And I don't think it got me. 1 second. Maybe no, not work. Okay. Okay, yeah, pretty much. Well, I actually like it how the other tool exported it more, but yeah, it pretty much did it okay. I will cover some more tools. To feed your models with a lot of info. Like in this case, imagine you are working with a repo. All the context is there. Cursor handles the context, the different files really, really well. But imagine you want to grab some code files from other repo, or you want to fit the whole another repo into your current repo. You can do it with tools like PasteMax or RepoMix. I will show you how. It's not as powerful as the search that Cursor has, for sure, but you can work with it really nicely because you can choose like which folders you want to feed the AI with, which files. It's pretty granular. Let me show you how it works. And it also nicely tells you like how many tokens you are going to use for your request. Okay. Let's give it 10 seconds. I will try to open again. Yeah, the demo gods are not with us. Oh, now it works. Okay, it's a really simple tool where you can select the folder you want to import. Like, let's see, for example, speedrun Ethereum. Let's get the whole folder. Now it scans the folder, and if we try to import it all, it's like over 1 million tokens, or over 2 million, sorry. But we can start unselecting all the stuff that is not really needed and is consuming all our tokens. And it starts already we could fit models like Gemini 3 that launched yesterday, talking about this AI noise. It launched yesterday, and it's really nice model to try. You should give it a try. And I think now it comes with a similar tool like a cursor that you can use for free for now, but I haven't tried yet. Okay, imagine we can also ignore some, you can pretty granularly select which folders, like for example, you just want to import the API for another repo, you go and just select the API folder and feed your new repo, telling it to follow similar guidelines and implement another API on another project, following your coding style and your naming conventions and whatever. There is this other alternative that I didn't know about, but I will show you. It's pretty similar to PasteMax. PasteMax, you have to either download the repo and execute in your local, or you can download the portable that I was using that is a bit heavy to load. But if you want a web version, you have this other tool where pretty much you can do the same, but I didn't find a way like to unselect the different folders. It probably has the option because it's pretty useful, but you can give it a try if you don't want to install or execute an application directly on your local. Okay, let's move for another nice tool. I just covered it really quick. This Calm AI, it's really nice to get the transcripts from YouTube videos. You can paste whatever YouTube video URL, and you get the transcript, and you feed any AI model with it and get a good summary of the video. Let's move a bit faster. Okay, now that we cover like how to feed the AI with the framework, with the context, and the different tools that I use for the context, let's focus a bit more on the third pillar, like the orchestration, like how to use different tools, different workflows, depending on the task you are going to cover. I'll show you some real workflows that I've used in the past and the tools I've used to achieve them. Like AI can be applied to all the hats that we may wear in our day-to-day basis. Like from the first guy that could be like a content creator, writing some articles or creating video or whatever, to the second guy that could be the product manager that the AI, I didn't feed the AI with a proper prompt, and it guessed whatever personality those roles had. And yeah, the product manager, I think not even the AI knows exactly what does in his job. Then I will cover some design workflows I've used and work really nicely to me. And then we cover some developer workflows and tools. In this case, also, the developer is a bit grumpy, but I didn't feed, I tell you, the AI, it just guessed. Like I covered before, for the content creation stack, I think Gina, Reader, and the Gdoc to Markdown tools are really good to format it in a proper way for the AI. Also, the Com tool that I just showed you to get the transcription from YouTube is really good to do your initial research. Based on that initial research and the context that you can provide to the AI, I think what worked for me, I will show you a big example of how we created different guides and different articles for speedrun Ethereum based on this same workflow or a very, very similar one. Gemini is really good for deep research. You probably won't want to use that research directly as content for your website, but you can transform it with different steps that we'll cover now. And GPT-5 for me worked pretty well for writing articles if you give it like the right context and the right guidance. And for the visuals, in the case that I will show you, I didn't use Banana because it didn't exist yet, but Banana is pretty cool for that. And we'll cover other tools like Napkin, which is really nice to create infographics, and Mermaid, that is really cool because based on the code, you generate workflows. So the AI is really good generating code, and then you can use another tools to transform this code into nice diagrams. And at the end, if I have time, I will show you quickly like how you create a video for like your product launches, or for getting some following on social media. But I never did it personally because I'm not a social media guy, but I will show you if I have time, a couple of tools you could use for that. And yeah, let's cover the real use case. Like these Speedrun Ethereum's articles we did, or we keep doing, but we did it, most of them, a couple of months ago. Let me show you just one output. Like I will cover. I think I cover all the examples here. Yeah, let's check this output and how it was generated. Okay, we have this. Well, one sec. I will show you the thumbnail too. This case is the impermanent loss. Impermanent loss, this was the thumbnail. I'll scroll down really quick. Like you can see, we have like nice workflows, nice diagrams. We cover a bunch of interesting stuff for the users and for the SEO. Here, oops, sorry. And how all of this was generated was originally based on a deep research, like I told you in the example before. This deep research was created with Gemini with one prompt that I will just scroll down quick. So you see it was quite a huge prompt explaining all the SEO guidelines, good SEO practices, and stuff. Yep. So we were framing like we have a website, we want to get more SEO traffic, but we want to provide value also to the users, explaining some important concepts that are linked to the different challenges we have. Then some writing instructions, some writing best practices, SEO best practices, the metadata we wanted for the articles and stuff. And this created a huge report, a huge deep research report that then we had to continue like curating and refining in order to have the final blog post. This was not a one-shot. After the deep research, we transformed it to an article based also on more guidelines, SEO guidelines, in order to create this smaller article more oriented to SEO. Then we had with another models like please roast down this article, review it, make sure it's up to date with the current state of the topic we were covering on that article. Then again, fact check that everything is correct. Then again, another prompt like fact check and make sure if we were missing some important concept that the deep research cover, but then in the transformation got lost for some reason. And after that, of course, we had some human verification, some human reviews. We had the team reviewing that everything made sense. Technically, it was accurate, and we had to create like the visual assets after that. The visual assets were also created with Gemini, but the previous model. And those infographics were created with the other tool I mentioned before, like the Napkin AI. I will show you like this kind of infographics that make the article a bit more digestive for the people that are going to read it. And after all the different iterations and the different articles we created for the challenge we had some SEO results. I will try to show them. I think I got a screenshot here. Like we passed from like 100 to 200 of visual impressions per day to some peaks of like close to 10K. That's probably some event or a lot of people searching for speedrun Ethereum for another reason, but we have an average of over 4K impressions, and also the clicks got up a lot. And one part of that was because of this SEO and this discoverability that it allowed us to have to new users that are not looking especially for speedrun Ethereum, but are looking to learn some Ethereum concepts. Let's cover some other hats. I will show you the video stuff if I got time, but let's cover other kind of roles. Like for a product manager or a project manager or whatever, or any organization that has some meetings, it's really interesting to use some meeting tools. Like in this example, I use Phaethon, but I know ChatGPT also add this feature recently. If you have some kind of pro plan, it's really useful that if you don't mind another third party to know the content of your meetings, it's really useful to don't need to have one guy really in charge of writing down all the important stuff of the meetings. You can also ask through all the content of the meeting, ask some stuff, or have specifically the parts of the meeting stored in video, covering some important decisions you made. Again, like we can see, we repeat some tools like this. Gina Reader is really good also for product managers, and to write product descriptions, requirements, documents, user stories, all of that is whatever model or tool you use, they all handle that really well. And also for data, like if the product manager needs to or either fetch some data to do some analysis or clean up some data in order to send to more technical guys to import into the system. AI is really good with that. I think it's one of those use cases that for data transformation that you can vibe code it a bit more, because it will create a bunch of Python or whatever technology scripts you need, and you can then validate that all the inputs are in the output, and you can save like dozens of hours of data cleaning with any, like in my case I use Cursor, but you can pretty much use any other like Claude or any other tool. Yeah, I'll go a bit quicker. Let's cover one interesting use case. If you design products, if you create prototypes, if you or even if you then apply those styles into your code, there are a couple of tools I find really interesting. For example, one is B0. I don't usually use like those web development, there's cursor-like tools, but that live in the cloud, that are web-based. I find it more interesting to use Cursor to have more granular and more control in the code it generates, and at least for myself, I see it clearly on Cursor-like or Visual Studio Code or whatever program you use, some IDE. But for ideating a new UI or creating some wireframes to then send to a designer to build a real styling, B0 has worked really, really nicely for me. I can show you a couple of examples, like how they look and how it end up looking in some cases. And yeah, that was pretty much pipe coded because, yeah, at least for P0, I like to just feed it with some ideas and then try more ideas and then until I end up with something I like and I think could end up in a product. Is what has worked for me with B0. Like, just vibing. I think for other stuff it's a bit more dangerous to vibe code, but in this case, let me open like the final app in this case. Okay, so from this is a total prototype. It's not working. It's just UI, working UI, but not real features behind it. We did an initial prototype with a couple of pages, like the home page, and one example of this case, a developer page. This is an app to like on-chain credentials app where you can review other developers in a more decentralized way that LinkedIn could be. And from those designs, we end up, for example, in the homepage with something similar, but then, of course, we tweak a lot other pages. But as you can see, the result from the vibe-coded B0 app was pretty nice and helped us like to iterate much faster and have a decent visual aesthetics, just with some back and forth with the AI. And I will show a quick sample also. This is not even in production, but how you can go from a prototype to a working page. For example, this case also was not going 100% equal to the result, but you can see this was the vibe-coded design, and then it's not hard to move to real code and real styling. And the last example I want to use is a really, really interesting one because it also let us check the importance of how good context can generate good results easily without a lot of back and forth, pretty much on one shot. Like if we go and check this website, oops, 1 second. Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's a website that explains a kind of design system. They call it Neo-Brutalism UI, and it explains like super web, like what's that kind of style. They cover a lot of different use cases, how they are styled, all the different components. So just giving the AI the context of the website, it can crawl it, can get all the different code snippets, and you can pretty much like totally change the design of your website in a couple of prompts. Probably when I tried it, the first prompt was almost perfect, and then I had to tweak like a couple of components, and I will show like the result. Like originally, this is the different explanations and components they are giving, and I will show a project I created a while ago with different hackathon projects of it global, and you can see it pretty much handle. Oh, this is okay. Pretty much handle all the stylings of all my components in one shot. Let me. Okay, now we'll cover quickly like what is this changing for developers. Like is there a new developer's paradigm, or is just an assistant that lets us create code faster? I'll cover quickly how the different archetypes of developer could be using, in my view, the AI those days. And yeah, we could go from a CTO to the more junior dev of your company. Like, for example, the CTO or the tech lead or whatever you call him, it's probably going to be just designing, like he could be designing before, like the system design, the security guidelines, dependencies to use, which constraints to follow, the naming convention, all of that stuff he's going to be doing anyways, but he will be able to use the AI to discuss like the best options, to discuss why this is worth to change, why not. Probably it's more like a back and forth of the CTO and the AI discussing some technical stuff that then it will end on an output that could be a cursor rules, like the project rules, or the new feature that the cursor 2.0 version allows for teams to have team-related cursor rules. A senior dev could be using all of this system architecture that the CTO has defined, and could be using the AI for all the boilerplate, and he could be focusing on the last 20%, do big refactors, check some edge cases from probably some more junior developers and stuff. And yeah, he could be auditing other junior developers, and probably either the CTO or the senior developer, when they are using AI, they are giving so many constraints to the AI, and they don't let the AI figure out what the code must look like, that they could one-shot probably most of the stuff they aim for, or they could just be using the automatic auto-completion instead of just prompting the AI. But if we go to other kind of roles, like more mid-level or junior developers, they could be using AI more to learn, to use the AI to explain them the different code they must to tweak, or how the architecture or how the different systems of the repo, how everything sticks together. That could be more an educational tool. Of course, they will be tackling code and developing and stuff, and with the help of more senior developers, review whatever code probably the AI help them generate. But yeah, they will rely a lot more on the code of the AI, but they should develop this critical thinking and this taste to know which solution looks good, which solution looks bad, why this shouldn't be developed this way. I think it's more like a learning tool to accelerate their development than a tool to accelerate the code or the velocity of the code they generate. Because if they just focus on generating more and more code, they are really going to fall behind, because they are not going to understand what they are producing. The last minutes, I'm going to cover the stack I use for development. In my case, I use Cursor. I will try to cover some of the newest features that Cursor has released. I can remember, the last couple of weeks with the Cursor 2.0. The most important for me is probably the plan mode. You could plan before, and you could create your Markdown files for the AI to follow them and follow the different tasks that you plan. But now it's pretty much integrated, and anyone will be almost by default be using the plan mode, even if they don't realize. But yeah, you can directly set it instead of the agent now. So it's pretty nice. How the plan mode works is it's going all the gaps that your prompt might have. The planner is going to ask you and try to fill them and have a proper prompt based on your answers, the design choice, the technical choice that is going to ask you. So at the end of the day, the plan mode is just a way to force us to generate good prompts and cover all the stuff that we should cover on the framing when we create a prompt. They also launched the Composer. I don't know if you have tried, but it's much faster than most of the models. Like with Gdoc, they are both probably the faster models. And for the task I needed to do, it has worked pretty well for me. And this is really interesting too, but yeah, you have to be a bit careful with the usage of your subscription. We have now parallel agents that we can use to cover the same feature or the same task in parallel with as many agents as we want. Like if we, I don't know, let's ask this agent to can you create a new page with the connected address and the balance. You can use it. What I found interesting so far is for either trying some different design styles that you could be asking different or the same model. I don't know if you will be able to check this. When you select the agent mode, you can select which model you want. But if we select I can find. Yeah, we should be able to select how many models we want and check if we want to run 2 composers and 2 GPT-5s and 1 Gdoc. We could have different tabs inside this with different results, and then we can be applying the different results to check how they look. Or, for example, try to debug a complex bug that we are not able to tackle, or we feel that we are all the time with similar answers going back to another answer we tried before and they all are wrong. You can use this to try different models to think differently and accelerate the correct answer. I also wanted to cover this tool that they have launched. It's really interesting. The browser with DOM context. One sec. Yeah, the in-app browser that lets the agent test for you the app and, for example, add some data to a form or check that all the links of the website are working, or have a more agentic way to test your app. Let's cover it really quickly because I think my time is almost over. You can invoke it with @browser. Please check if all the, I will send this again. Can you test if speedrunethereum.com homepage has all the buttons working correctly, or if they are throwing some 404? And you can see, it's covering checking which links we have, checking them, checking for the answers of the server. and it's confirming that they all are working well. You will see it navigating through your app, or like at all inserting some data on the different forms you have and making sure it's working correctly. You can also paste the screenshots and tell the agent to verify that it has the same design that you have originally designed, or please check if this website is created pixel perfect, and it will cover all the UI to make sure you created it correctly. Okay, let's give it a minute to finish. Now it's checking the footer links. It's going to the guides page. And I think that's it. Yeah, perfect. No errors. I quickly cover some stuff that you may know from the previous version of Cursor. We already commented like the Cursor rules. Those are the scaffold if Cursor rules. Let me close the agent. You can define a file into your project, into your repo. Well, not only one. You can create a bunch of them. You are not supposed to make huge Cursor rules because, like we said, all the info will get diluted. You are better at creating different files with good descriptions, so the model you choose will be able to find out which rule it should follow. You can also like try to force some of your rules to be checked always, but Cursor is smart enough to know which one of them should follow for each task. Let's also cover this new feature, these new commands you can define on your repo to perform different tasks that you are doing like every day. You can invoke them just with / whatever name you gave to the command. In this case, to create PRs, you give it some instructions, and it will create the PR for you if you allow to execute the different commands it will suggest. And talking about commands, now they are executed in a secure environment, and it will no longer destroy your computer if someone creates a bad model that tries to delete all your files or whatever. It's executed in a secure environment now here inside the cursor. And I wanted to cover a bunch of a couple features, but my time is over. I hope at least you can go out from this talk with a couple more tools that you could include on your toolkit, and especially like a way or know the importance of having a system and plugging the different tools into your system to don't feel this AI FOMO that we all are feeling. Thank you.